Just moments ago, Darrell Green, playing in his last game as a Redskin, was inducted into the Redskin Hall of Fame.
I want to thank all my teammates for 20 years, many of who are out here today, and certainly the guys who are in the locker room. It's been a great ride, and I know I'm not going to be able to thank everyone, but the obvious is there's no way that I could be who I am without all of you. And now, give me a second. I want to give a big applause for all of you. Please stay quiet. Hold on. Nah, this is mine. This is my applause to all of you. God bless you. Thank you.
20 years at cornerback, Darrell Green. He's just 5'8", Brian. Darrell Green is. But there's never been a taller man than he is.
Now you can't measure that heart, Pat. You can't measure that in Darrell.
Most of the hoopla then about the Redskins and Darrell Green, but let's talk about Dallas. Is this the last game for Dave Campo?
Well, you know, this is a tough game for the players to play anyways, Pat. I mean, there's no playoffs. It's the final game. Players just want to get out of here without getting hurt. But if it is the last game for Dave Campo, this is going to be the first game that the new coach watches. And so those players are going to be evaluated based off this game. Coach Campo has kept his game face on. He's going to coach right to the end here today. And you give him credit for keeping the team together during all of the distractions.
There's never been a finer man than Dave Campo. He's terrific.
He's a good man, but maybe that was his downfall, is that he's such a good man and a nice man. Maybe he was too nice here.
Darrell Green being introduced for the last time as a Redskin.
Nah.
As much as you've done, man.
Well, I've enjoyed it. What's up, boy? How you doing, dog? Doing great.
Congratulations, man, on everything.
All right, man. I appreciate it. You're my
Good luck.
final pitcher, man. On my tour this year, you're my final pitcher.
Oh, that's cool. That's perfect.
Pick you as my final shot.
You never know. Might be mine, too.
No. Hey, man, if you want to stay with us.
Well, Darrell Green is still one of the fastest guys, if not the fastest guy on the Redskin team.
He said the fastest he's ever been clocked in a 40-yard dash is 4.18, and he can still run a 4.3 and a hundredth of a more second or so right now. Straight ahead speed, he can still be one of the fastest men in the league.
Now, there's a guy who had not straightaway speed, Emmitt Smith, but a lot of heart and a lot of savvy, and what a runner.
You know, Dave Campo said something pretty proficient this week. He said, if the Redskins can't beat us this week, they may never beat us. With all the distractions going on in Dallas and coaching changes imminent, all those things talked about, they can't beat us in this week. We're gonna own them a long time.
He clarified that a little bit. He said, they're never going to beat me.
Right.
Cortez kicks off, and this is Woody Dantzler, who can make some things happen with the kickoff return. So the Cowboys will go on offense first of all, led by quarterback Chad Hutchinson. Darrell Green is going to start for the 20th year. 275 career starts, 313 total games. That's not just a career, that's a lifetime.
Yeah, that is a body of work.
Emmitt Smith is the deep back. Chad Hutchinson's going to throw on first down, and does. And hits Antonio Bryant. And Antonio Bryant gets first down for Cowboys. David Terrell makes the stop. Dallas offense, Adams, Tucker, Walter, Garrod, and Collins, Javier Collins in place of Page, and the running backs, McKee and Smith, Antonio Bryant, Galloway, and Tony McGee, the tight end. Bryant comes wide right. Galloway's left. Emmitt Smith is deep. 1st and 10, Cowboys. Reverse coming to Hutchinson as they toss it back and forth. And Hutchinson finds Galloway, but knocked down by Champ Bailey, who just got a hand in there.
Little razzle Dallas from Dallas early in this game, just letting the Redskins know that their dominance is because they're going to take chances and be aggressive. Chad Hutchinson has time to set his feet here, but this ball hung up just a little bit.
He was looking left first.
Yeah, he had 2 options.
Yep, and then the ball got there late. Smith, take it down and a fumble. The Cowboys get it back. David Terrell up to force Emmitt Smith. Whalen made the recovery.
Pretty good pressure right there by the Redskins on that draw play, just coming after Chad Hutchinson, which most teams are doing, and they should. Young quarterback, has struggled, been sacked a lot. The Redskins put pressure on there early, and on the way to the quarterback, knocked the ball out of Emmitt's hands.
Loss 4.
Now these guys are playing it. Right up in their face, pressure defense.
Hambrick is the deep back. Hutchinson back to throw it. Under pressure, throws it away. Flags come flying on the play. Pressured by LeVar Arrington on a blitz. It's going to be holding against Dallas. They'll probably turn it down.
Penalties decline.
Yeah. Andre Guerreau, the rookie here, has struggled mightily the second half of the season. And he gets a load in the middle from Darrell Gardner, who right now, to me, is the MVP of this defense. And I know when you only win 6 games and you're out of the playoffs, why even talk about MVPs, but he has dominated the line of scrimmage most weeks this year.
How many times have we seen Chad Hutchinson struggle to his feet after throwing the ball? Almost every time.
His body should be administered here to the Smithsonian.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, because it's something else.
They were trying to set up a reverse. They couldn't. It never got underway. Champ Bailey fielded the punt from Filipovich, 36 yards. The Redskins take over. This is where we began our association. We'll finish it here.
For this year.
For this year.
What an opening day it was for the Redskins, too. I mean, the offense looked... Remember, we were talking about the fun in the gun and all that stuff, and it delivered against Arizona.
That might have been the best they looked all year.
A lot has changed since that time.
Straight ahead is Kenny Watson. Patrick Ramsey is the quarterback. The offensive line, Samuels, Vickers, Moore, Trey Johnson, and Jansen. Watson, one of the backs. Brian Johnson, the other. Gardner and Darius Thompson, the wide receivers. And Flemister, the tight end. Ramsey back to throw. Throws a strike to Gardner. And the Redskins will move the sticks. Let's look at the Dallas defense. Ekuban, Noble, Glover, and Ellis, the front 4. The linebackers, Hardy, Dadwin, and Dexter Coakley. And the secondary, Edwards, Williams, Dixon, and Pete Hunter, starting at cornerback in place of Derrick Ross. Ramsey rolls to his left. Not quite enough touch to Flemister.
No, we said, Pat, from the very beginning this year in that win against Arizona, we talked about the excitement of Steve Spurrier, and he was the buzz of the league. But he found out during the season there was a lot to learn for Coach Spurrier this year. And one of the things he found out is you're not going very far without a quarterback with a good and accurate arm. And I think if one thing came out of this season, it was the development of Patrick Ramsey here. Played 3 games earlier in the year, had a little success, but began to struggle. Steve pulled him, and now, finishing the season, he looks like a pretty good prospect.
Ramsey bounces one. Greg Ellis put the pressure on. I think one other thing, happened during the course of the year. You talked about the development of Ramsey. I think the coach developed as well.
Well, I think that you come from the college ranks. I don't care as a player or a coach, and you come to professional football and you're around it, you have to adjust. There's just a big adjustment. It's not Florida, and you're not playing Central Florida and some of those teams that he'd get ready to play, and you find out things about special teams, how important they are, and how field position is. He's learned that. He's learned about work ethic of players, how you have to drive these guys and have to motivate them. I think he's learned in every area of this game.
I think he has. Ramsey might have taken too long.
Play.
And you learn also that you don't have the best group of athletes, a far superior group to those you're playing against.
Well, the talent is one thing, but remember, he didn't know much about the practice squad.
Right.
You know, when he first came in, and the operations and, you know, special teams, how important they were, and then active guys, what was that all about? He never sat down a player at the University of Florida before for a game that practiced all week.
Wearing a few more coats, but that ever-present visor still in place. Ramsey out of the shotgun. Fired. Pass complete. First down to Gardner. Just enough for the first. Perfect.
Well, I tell you, this kid sets his feet and drops back and delivers the ball, and it's a pretty picture. Gardner up here at the top. He's working on the rookie quarterback right now, just sitting in the zone against Goodrich. And Darrell Gardner is a guy that's led this team in receptions this year, second-year player to Clemson. He's really a number 2 guy. They're still trying to upgrade the wide receiver position, a guy with more speed that can really stretch a field.
Ramsey back again. Drops it over the middle to Watson, who falls down, and before he can get back to his feet, the Cowboys make sure he stays.
Now they're just making a change right now at right guard. Trey Johnson just came off, and Wilbur Brown just went out there. The other area that they've struggled in all year is at the offensive line. And the 2 tackles are set. Samuels and Jansen have both had real good seasons. Samuels going to the Pro Bowl. Larry Moore is pretty good at center. They probably have to upgrade that guard position in getting ready for next year.
Not much. A yard, perhaps. Roy Williams and Brandon Noble.
But
Watson, excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me. I had the pleasure of doing the Redskins' final game last year. And, you know, Marty Schottenheimer was the coach here last year, and it was Marty's team. It was his style. Stephen Davis was the tailback. He set a franchise record, 1,432 yards. Got it that game against Arizona. But Stephen Davis right now is injured. He's had shoulder surgery. He's due a lot of money next year. I think the future is in these backs. They have Kenny Watson and Liddell Belch.
Ramsey misses. Pointing as if he thought interference should have been called, but it wasn't. Kevin Hardy came from the outside to put a little pressure on Ramsey.
Oh. Well, this next phase of the game is this punter walking out here right now. Yeah. This guy, Craig Jarrett. Yeah, Craig Jarrett. Now, he had 2 10-yard punts last week. He had 1 block. I saw him in practice on Friday, missed the ball, Pat. He went to punt it, and he missed it. Got nothing but air. It's hit or miss right now.
Well, this one's not bad.
Well, that's perfect. Yeah, see, hit or miss, and that was a good hit.
Redskins covered it well. And the Cowboys will start deep in their own territory, about the 34-yard kick. Somebody moved. Jerry Austin.
False start. 69 offense. Evidence is to the goal. It's still first down.
False start. Ross Tucker jump. Used to be a Redskin.
You know, we talked to Emmett last night, came in with that sharp brown pinstripe suit, looked like he should be a banker on Wall Street, but he came in with an attitude that this isn't my last game, that I can't wait to get ready and start my off-season business as usual in a couple of weeks.
They're back at about the 3 now after the penalty. And the pitch is back to Emmett, who is hit at about the 2. By Carl Powell and LeVar Arrington. And Emmett's going backward fast when we started the day. He needed 38 yards to get 1,000. Now he needs 43.
But didn't that happen on the day, Pat, where he got the record against Seattle, where he started off really great, then he was going backwards for a while, thought he was never going to get this record.
Sure did.
And then he turned it on.
Whalen comes in motion. And here's Emmett. Past the 5 to about the 8. Fred Smoot pushed him out of bounds.
And I was in the gym early this morning, Pat, and I was on a treadmill.
Yeah, you're bragging.
I'm not bragging, Pat, but I was on the treadmill and I was talking to Emmett's wife, Pat. And I said, come on, Pat, tell me the truth. He comes home.
Now. You were in the same gym with Emmett's wife?
Talking football, Pat. Talking football. And I said, come on, Emmett comes home from these games. He's in his 13th year. He can't get out of bed. You nurse him through the week. She said he has a pain tolerance like nobody else. And if he's hurt, he's really hurt. I mean, there's something really driving him. And there's not many days like that for him.
Pass is caught, complete to Tony McGee, the tight end. The ball's loose, and there's a scramble, and the Redskins say we have it. And they say
pass is ruled incomplete.
Incomplete.
The receiver did not hold on to the ball. 4th down.
Let's take a look at Tony McGee here on the out. Well covered by Mitchell. Ooh, I tell you what, that was a one-handed catch that he brought into the body and looked like he took a couple steps with it. See that?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, you take 2 steps and have possession. That should be a catch.
No review.
How about that catch by Shockey yesterday? Here comes review now.
Yeah.
But it came from Washington.
Well, they're saying it was a catch and he did fumble.
Yeah, that's what Washington wants to say. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good challenge by Spurrier.
Sometime when we have more time, I want to find out about that. Stay in the gym.
With that conversation with Emmett's wife?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Emmett's wife. I just started talking to the person next to me.
It sounds like a good way to start.
The play is ruled incomplete.
So you
The
can't.
only way it can be challenged would be able to allow Dallas to keep the football because it's ruled incomplete. The other team cannot recover it. Therefore, there is no challenge.
Well, they threw the red flag back to Steve.
Dave's happy about that.
Yeah. Filipovic back at the end of the end zone. Champ Bailey standing at midfield. He got some room. Bailey to the 30, and the Redskins get it in good shape. James Whalen down to make the stop. As Brian was talking about in that first game we did, he just took over. 3 touchdowns. Ran the ball almost at will. Here comes the blitz. Doesn't get there. The catch doesn't either. It's picked off by Tony Dixon. Bounced out of the hands of the Redskin receiver and into the hands of Tony Dixon.
Patrick Ramsey threw a good pass.
To Gardner.
Yeah, had a good pass over the middle to Gardner. And this is just a good tip drill right here, but Gardner had his hands on this ball. They read the blitz, they picked it up. Pete Hunter looked like he was confused on the play. Maybe just a little overthrown that time by Ramsey. We had a nice lane to throw that to. Bobby Gardner's probably should have had his hands turned around the other way.
Probably. Dixon got the ball. That was his first interception. He got the ball from the referee, and he's got it in his possession now. Chad Hutchinson up under center. Going deep, and he's got Antonio Bryant, and yes, that's a catch. Bryant can come down with that ball when it's thrown like that.
Well,
He's got some talent.
Pat, if there's one, watch this. He's working on Fred Smoot here, who's a good young corner. And this league, I say it every week, is all about playing the ball in the air. And we watched that Eagles-Giants game yesterday, Pat, and Jeremy Shockey took that game over. And that's what Antonio Bryant should have been able to do in this Dallas offense this year.
No gain for Emmett. Been tough sledding so far. for number 22.
There's been 3 great offensive rookies in the league this year, Pat. Jeremy Shockey, Clinton Portis, and it should have been Antonio Brown. And you have to find a way to get the ball in this kid's hands early and often. And you won't see the pouting. All you'll see is a great player that can make great plays.
Hammett again. Sailing up to the 45. Let's now return to James Brown in Los Angeles for a game break.
Pat, games with playoff implications. Phil Dawson, having missed 3 of his last field goals of his last 5, bangs home that 40-yarder, 3-0 Browns, and then John Carney putting the Saints up 3-0. That with a 30-yard field goal for a field goal lead over Carolina. Back to Pat and Brian.
And Darrell Green comes into the Redskin lineup for the first time and the last time. Hutchinson back to throw it. Backing up, throws, incomplete. Michael Wiley was the target. Ohelete back with him.
Well, you know, Darrell Green can still run straight ahead speed. I mean, he's still as good as a cornerback out there. The area that you lose when you get to 42 is the ability to recover and the ability to change direction. And that's where, you know, he's slipped a little bit the last couple of years. And that's what that position is all about. Changing directions, adjusting to the balls in the air.
And you don't recover that.
Now, once that goes, that's most guys lose that a lot earlier than age 42.
Isn't that the truth? Champ Bailey signaled fair catch, and so the Redskins take over. 2 decades of greatness, indeed, for number 28.
I remember his first game, Pat, Monday Night Football.
Oh, so do I.
Against the Cowboys, opening the season in 1983. That's when he caught Tony Dorsett from behind. He said he was so nervous because he was starting that night, trying to figure out how to start and get Drew Pearson's autograph all the same night.
This is Liddell Betts, one of the 2 featured running backs for the Redskins now. Ekuban makes the stop.
Well, Liddell Betts had over 100 yards last week, had 20 carries. I've never seen a team before. They had 48 carries last week and really ran the ball right down Houston's throat. But, you know, Kenny Watson got the other 20 carries. He can have 2 backs in the league, both go over 100 yards, but both over at least 20 carries. That is really unusual.
That's keeping the ball alive.
First time the Redskins have done that since 1985.
That'll do it for you. Betts again. Right now, let's return to James Brown again for a game break.
Pat and Brian will be keeping you updated all day on this game with playoff implications. Michael Vick play action. He hasn't thrown many, but he throws one here. A pick, tipped and picked off by Robert Griffith. Cleveland continuing to nurse just a 3-0 lead. Back to Pat and Brian.
Gardner comes out wide left.
Cleveland wins that game, and the Jets lose the late game today. Cleveland will be in the playoffs.
Safety blitz coming by the Cowboys. Not timed very well. Late getting there. Liddell Betts gets first down.
I'll tell you, I saw the running backs come out of their meeting room the other day. Liddell Betts, Kenny Watson, Rock Cartwright. They're all, I mean, they all look the same. They're all 5'8", 5'10", all 220, 225 pounds. And they're all very similar. Watson and Betts, basically, almost the same guy. 2 different uniforms, 2 different numbers, but very similar in talent. Watson a little better on the outside.
This is Watson. Dat Wynn had him with one hand and finally took him down.
Both those guys are trying to replace the injured Stephen Davis, who is injured, had shoulder surgery this week. Got hurt a couple weeks ago against the Eagles, but Stephen Davis, to me, is what running back in this league is all about. I'm talking about a guy who's big. I mean, huge from the hips down, and then can get to top speed in 1 or 2 steps. Very valuable guy, and they have a decision to make because of finances here in Washington about him.
2nd and 4. They get about 3 of that, stopped by Dexter Coakley. That's 5 straight runs by the Redskins, and did you ever think you'd
see that from a Steve Spurrier?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Both these guys could be available next year. Both of them would be an asset to any team. Stephen Davis, though, only 28 years old, coming off a 1,400-yard season a year ago. Durable, big. There's a lot of teams that need running backs that would love to have Stephen Davis. They're going to be a bidding war for him next year.
Emmitt Smith, maybe a Cowboy, maybe not. Ramsey, Chase gets it out to the tight end Walter Rasby this time. Picks up not enough for a first down, but about half of it.
Pat, you mentioned, hey, you ever think you'd see a Steve Spurrier team run the ball 5 times in a row? The fact is, when they run the ball more than they throw it, they've won 5 of the 6 games this year when that's happened. And that's the learning curve here that Steve has had to learn as the head coach. That's the strength of his team right now. The running backs and parts of that offensive line are very, very good.
Cowboys showing blitz. Good effort by Liddell Betts. Keeps from losing yards. Coakley, the last Cowboy to get up, makes a stop. 3rd and about 2. And in past years, this was passing down definitely for Spurrier.
Yeah.
The Hogettes are here.
Yeah. I don't think Spurrier had to get to know the Hogettes, too. He didn't know anything about that. The tradition here has remained from those great offensive lines of the 80s.
Ramsey calls a timeout. Didn't like what he saw from the Dallas defense. Back in the nation's capital. So far, it's been Darrell Green Day. Fastest man to the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure about that, but that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, for years, he was the fastest guy in the league. They'd have those competitions in the winter, and he'd win it every year.
Betts is the deep back. Ramsey inside to McCants. And enough for a Redskin first down.
That's a tough throw by Patrick Ramsey. Watch Dallas load up the line of scrimmage here. You got 8 guys here, and they're all coming. That slant pattern right there has always been a staple of a Spurrier offense. Darian McCants gets inside Mario Edwards that time, and it was well thrown.
They go in a hurry this time. Kenny Watson back in deep. Ramsey appears to be changing plays at the line of scrimmage.
And the Cowboys changing defense here and reacting to it.
And now he's changing again. 4-man rush. And shutting it down from the outside is Greg Ellis.
Now, Patrick Ramsey said that his job is to get this team out of bad plays. Plays designed against defenses they don't have anybody for. So look at all the Cowboys here up the line of scrimmage. When he goes back here, that's a 2-deep shell. This is now a running play because now they have a blocker on a rusher. And that's why he ran it that time.
Ramsey high over the middle. Intended for Thompson. A little out of reach.
You know, one of the anchors here in Washington is Chris Samuels, and he's had the last 5 weeks he's been a dominant player. One of the reasons why he's going to the Pro Bowl. And if you ask me why I think the Redskins are in better shape than the Cowboys right now, with teams with similar records, Redskins are so solid at offensive tackle and at cornerback, and the Cowboys are almost the weakest at those 2 positions.
Watch it run!
You're going to build a team right now outside of your quarterback. That's where you want to be good.
Ramsey drops to throw. He appears to be the quarterback of the future. Gardner fighting close to a first down. Mostly done on his own.
Well, it's 4th down, and Spurrier's going to go for it. It's the final game. And we're seeing some good throws here by Ramsey, a little bit of inconsistency. But I think that this is the guy for the future here in Washington. I'll tell you why.
Ramsey.
Yeah. He comes out of a passing offense in Tulane. You know, he's a smart kid. He loves the game, and he's friends with the offensive line. He pals around with John Jansen. It's always a good sign of your quarterback, his best friends in the offensive line.
Redskins left guard moved, and so Spurrier might change his mind about going for it if they move him back 5 yards.
Ball starts, 64 offense, 5 yards.
David Laverne. Now the punter comes on.
Those are the little things that Dave Campo struggled with this year, that Spurrier struggled with. Those little mistakes just kill you. Yeah, it kills this drive. You got to get off the field now. You don't get a chance to continue it. And then this hit or miss thing is back there trying to punt the ball.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score: the Cowboys nothing, Washington nothing. Fox NFL Sunday from FedEx Field will continue after these messages. Nothing should come as a surprise.
What, that there's no score, Pat?
Right.
Oh, we expect this during a Cowboy game here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen too many bagels up there. Oh, geez, here we go.
Yeah. I've seen better punts than that in the backyard.
You're funny with your nephews and nieces. Grandkids out there.
Grandkids, I was thinking of.
I was going to say.
Coming up next in the second part of our doubleheader, the Packers try to secure a home field advantage as they take on the Jets, who are trying to keep up their playoff hopes. Or the Cardinals battle the Broncos. A day full of NFL action continues on Fox. What's at stake for Green Bay, Brian?
Oh, only home field advantage. Everything would have to go through Lambeau Field with the win or a tie against the Jets today. And I don't know if anybody wants to go up to the Tundra.
Green Bay does.
Oh, they love that.
Here's Hutchinson running. It finally has to throw it away. Nobody came open. Pressured by Darrell Gardner, but it was late pressure. He had time. He just couldn't find anybody.
You know, we mentioned that they should put Chad Hutchinson's body in the Smithsonian because he's taken such abuse this year, but somehow, you know, he gets up the next day and he goes out to practice. He's been hit and battered all year long, but it's hard to even evaluate his performance this year, Pat, because under the duress he's been under and how he seems to be running for his life almost every time he drops back.
When he first played, he was 6'5". Now he's 6'2". Emmitt Smith's the deep back. Hutchinson. Ball is deflected but caught. And wrestled around by James Whalen.
Well, the finish of that play looked confusing. The start of it was even more confusing. I mean, look at Javier Collins here. He's got his arm up, and the play has started, and he hasn't moved yet. It was like he was trying to call timeout in the classroom. And it doesn't happen in the NFL like that. But some confusion amongst the offensive line where there's been a lot this year.
Hambrick is the deep back. Beg your pardon, it's Emmitt Smith. And Hutchinson is down again. The ball's loose, and there's a scramble. I think the Redskins have it. LeVar Arrington put the heat on Hutchinson, who never saw him coming and never got the ball brought back like he was going to throw it.
Well, LeVar Arrington has become a pass rusher in this defense. Here he is coming off the edge. The right tackle, Javier Collins, doesn't see him. Actually, two guys off the edge right
somebody
here.
Else.
Yeah, nobody. Hutchinson is expecting the backside to be blocked. That's Ronaldo Wynn got there first. Arrington got the ball, and Arrington's trying to score with it. And Hutchinson almost got decapitated.
Yes. Arrington recovered the fumble. Redskins give the ball to Liddell Betts for a game break. Let's quickly go to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat, you know Cleveland clinging to playoff hopes, but take a look at Tim Couch here in the second quarter, limping gingerly with that right leg of his. He went off for an examination and then headed to the locker room. Kelly Holcomb, the fan favorite and the guy who had over a 100 quarterback rating, in for the injured Tim Couch. Back to Pat Summerall.
All right, JB, thank you.
Yeah, if Atlanta loses that game and New Orleans wins, New Orleans will be in the playoffs.
Here's Ramsey. Just incomplete. Darius Thompson was the target. somebody might have got a hand on that ball just before it got there.
Yeah, Darius Thompson
he was
right
open.
Here. Yeah. Thompson running right down the seam. Maybe that win.
Maybe.
Nah, you know what? I don't think it got touched. I mean, I think that's just a drop. Yeah, and that ball was right in Darius Thompson's hands, and he knows it. He'll tell you. Looking at his hands, the hole in the glove, the whole thing.
4 wideouts for the Redskins this time. Ramsey back to throw it. Flips it up the middle, complete to McCants. And it'll be 1st and goal, Redskins.
They came right back to the same play with a different receiver. Running right into the same hole in that defense, and Ramsey put it again right on the money.
18-yard pickup. 1st and goal at the 5.
That's a nice throw. And there's times where Ramsey drops back and he hits that 5th step and he throws the ball, and you're like, this is what we need. This guy can run our offense and put that fun back in the gun for next year.
That's tight.
1st and goal at the 5. Watson is the lone setback.
Better hurry this up.
Yep. Watson. Touchdown, Redskins. They just got that play off.
Goes down to the final tick.
5 yards for Watson. The Redskins get on the board first.
Yeah, and watch the offensive line here. You see Wilbur Brown right here, push, good push here by Kim Vickers, and Watson never allows his legs to stop moving. Fresh young legs right here, stays alive, smelt the end zone and gets on the board.
Cortez with the extra point. 5-yard touchdown run by Kenny Watson puts the Redskins ahead. Cortez to kick it off. And deep for Dallas, Dantzler bounces in front of him. Handled by Michael Wiley, who gets outside the 30. The key play, which led to the turnover, is what put the Redskins in shape to take the lead 7-0. Under pressure again. You wouldn't exactly call this Dallas offense a juggernaut, would you?
Not with those, not last in the league in all those categories. And, you know, I mean, been tough all day, but this offensive line has not improved throughout the season. And we watched the Giants yesterday against the Eagles get better as that season went on.
Here's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt taken down by Carl Powell after he got about 4. He needs 38. He needed 38 yards at the beginning of the game to get 1,000, and that would be 12,000-yard seasons in a row for Emmitt. And in talking to him, as we were last night, he wants to play some more. He hopes it's in Dallas. He needs 30. Smacked down is Emmitt Smith by Ronaldo Wynn. The ball was down. He was down. Ball came loose. And there was a scramble for it, but he was down.
Emmitt also mentioned that he's got a new fullback here for the first time this year. Jason McKee didn't know anything about him. Actually, he got a pretty good block that time.
At least he got a stalemate.
Yeah. You know, Jason McKee is a guy that they just activated and want to take a look at. He actually is from Emmitt's hometown in Florida.
Pensacola.
Went to Emmitt's football camp in 1997, and they just got introduced here a couple days ago.
Hutchinson gives to Hambrick. And Hambrick wheels around outside and gets close to first down yardage. Flag on the play.
Looks like it's going to be
holding against Dallas.
88 offense, 10 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Antonio Bryant, that's the kind of thing that when it's called has been setting off Antonio Bryant and disturbing him and his performance in the other play.
Well, here he is at the top. He's got that left hand on the jersey right there. And yeah, I mean, he's trying to do the right thing. You know, he's just out there in the open. They get the corner, and he becomes the bad guy.
That's a little nitpicky.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's shaking his head. He's still shaking his head, and usually after something bad that happens to him, he'll shake his head for a long time.
Redskins are showing some kind of blitz. Arrington coming on the outside, and he gets loose, and here's Chad Hutchinson taking off. And down he goes at the 35, short of the first down by Jesse Armstead.
Well, the offensive line again. I mean, right now, Chad Hutchinson just wants to protect himself. This is Flozell Adams working on Bruce Smith. Bruce gets a little bit of pressure on him. Really, the pressure came from the other side. Darrell Gardner came a chase, and he's been decapitated today. He's been hit blindly. He's just right now working under the rules of self-preservation.
Champ Bailey back deep. One of Filipovic's better punts. Reverse to Darrell Green. And Darrell Green sets sail. He's got a lane. He's got the kicker to beat. Somebody blocked the kicker. Slowed him up enough or he was gone. Lewis Mackey. Darrell Green on the reverse. The reverse. Amazing. 42 years old, 20 years, a cornerback. Look at that. Darrell Green just rekindled some of those memories with that punt return. And acknowledged the admiration and adoration from the crowd. A lot of number 28 jerseys in the stands today.
He's energized this whole place out here today, Pat.
It really has.
A couple hours before kickoff.
That one brought back some memories for me, I'll tell you, Brian.
Oh, yeah, back against Chicago, right?
Right. 1988. Pass incomplete, Rod Gardner. Remember this, or do you remember this? In 1988, Soldier Field, Chicago. Darrell Green had not been returning punts, but look at this run. The hurdle.
Yeah.
He hurt his rib cage, and he grabbed the ribs and
holding them together.
Holding them together all the way in. 40 years old, he can still hurdle. He can still run. Liddell Betts, the running back. Ramsey changing plays. He got to hurry again. Ramsey. Pass complete to Thompson. And for a game break, let's return to James Brown again.
And Brian, Cleveland fighting for its playoff life, doing a nice job of mixing it up here in the first half. And this guy, William Green, 2 runs of 20 yards or more. This one, a 21-yard run to pay dirt. And it's Cleveland on top of Atlanta, 10-0 back to Pat and Brian.
Cleveland right now, 10-0. We're looking for the final wild card spot. The Giants got in yesterday with that win against the Eagles, so it's Atlanta right now. Cleveland all fighting for their spot in New Orleans.
Betts. There's the situation. If Atlanta loses and New Orleans wins, the Saints go to the playoffs and they would be seed number 6. The Giants would be 5.
The rest of that stuff, I mean, who's got home field?
Yep.
Are the Giants a 3 seed? Or, are the 49ers a 3 seed, the 4 seed? Tampa Bay, all that stuff gets filtered out tonight, and then maybe even tomorrow night in the last Monday night game.
Here, again, is Ramsey to throw it. The ball right through the hands. There's a flag on the play. It might be a late hit on Ramsey.
Yeah, I think
Darius Thompson.
Personal foul.
That's it.
Yep.
Roughing the passer.
Tony Dixon.
A shot to the head. 15 yards. Automatic first down.
I never heard a referee say it like that. A shot to the head. Huh?
Well, when they say a shot to the head, that might be accompanied by a fine by the NFL. And that was right to the head. That's a good call.
Yep.
And Washington will gladly take the 15. Dixon, a young player, still trying to find his way in this league, but they're going to protect quarterbacks. And if you get there a little late, you got to back off, and that's all there is to it.
First and 10, Washington, and a handoff to Betts. And Betts.
Ball's out.
Touchdown. A signal touchdown, and now the Cowboy players are signaling touchback.
Yeah, Ecubon, who chased the play down, saying that ball was out. So it may be something that's worth a challenge here. They get a chance to look at it, but that's Ecubon who knocks that ball out. That ball was out. I don't know if he had possession going across the plane to the goal line.
I don't think he did.
This might be the greatest hustle play by Ecubon all year. Yeah, that ball is out, clearly. That's a touchback.
That's a touchback.
That's a touchback. That is going to be the Cowboys' ball going the other way on the 20-yard line.
20.
Kind of makes you want the ball prior to getting to the end zone. The ball goes in the end zone. Is touched by the runner, but he is out of bounds. That puts the ball out of bounds in the end zone and creates a touchback for Dallas. First and 10 for Dallas on the 20.
Here's Emmitt Smith trying to get around the corner, but there is no room at the end.
Well, I think, what you have to look at from that last play by Ecubon is, it's the final game, and, we've had all these distractions in Dallas this week, and the Redskins are trying to play it out, and you want to know who's ready to play and who wants it. I mean, Ecubon, to me, that was the best play he's made all year. And to me, that's a guy that says, I want to be here next year. I want whoever's going to be here. I want to show up on tape today, and that's an example of a guy that, don't tell me this is the last game of the season. I'm just trying to get out of here.
Here's Emmitt, and there's nothing there again. To the 20.
Hey, this Washington.
Darrell Gardner again. Excuse me.
Yeah, this Washington defense, same thing. I mean, Emmitt hasn't had a chance to catch his breath or see any daylight at all today. Darrell Green involved that tackle, got a little limp going. I mean, here it is. And here's the rookie fullback here on Arrington. You got two guys on Arrington. He takes them both on. And the crowd is energized right now. They're playing with great emotion and enthusiasm here today.
Hambrick in the backfield with Wiley. Hutchinson back to throw, screen pass to Hambrick. Where's he going to go? Ronaldo Wynn led the charge. And the defense does its job.
And Marvin Lewis was brought in here so that the defense would do their job. And they are the 6th-ranked defense in this league. And they have improved because they're starting to believe in the system of what he's put in. It's just getting started. It's not finished. Guys still don't quite trust it. But if they improve their tackling and their safety play, this could be a very good defense.
There's a scene we've seen often this year. A punt by the Cowboys. A flag on the play, and the ball goes out of bounds. Champ Bailey was back deep. They have one game with 21 punts in it, or 22.
Oh yeah, punts and flags, and we've seen a lot of that. All that stuff that's indicative of teams that just can't function. They can't put plays together and drives together.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 31 of the receiving team. 10 yards. First down.
David Terrell, guilty party. Seven 0 the Redskins lead. There's a face mask violation.
Her friend Julia lived.
This is Chris Samuels of the Washington Redskins. Chris helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting childhood development programs. Chris is an emotional player.
They were no longer little girls, they were little women. Here's your book, Mr. Samuels.
That's not my book.
Yes, it is. It has your name in it.
Okay.
Emotional.
Boy, he lights up a room when he comes in,
doesn't he, though? Like nobody else. I mean, everybody feels better about who you are and what you do. Here comes a blitz.
Shotgun, and here comes the blitz, and ball quickly goes out. to Darius Thompson, who was looking upfield and saw the horde coming and dropped it. That's 5 drops by the Redskin receivers today. Ramsey got it out.
This is just the old college screen right here. I mean, these guys are downfield. Look how far downfield they are. And Spurrier brought this from Florida with them, and it's been great. And this is something Dallas should have been using this year, I think. Getting the ball to Antonio Bryant. A way to get the ball to him.
On second down, Ramsey fakes, stays and throws, and the ball bounces out. Gardner, the intended target. Ramsey really cut that one loose.
And I don't think anybody can handle it.
I don't think so either. It's like Brett Favre. You have to get used to catching that pass.
Well, he's got a little, he's got a little hot mustard on it, but this is what a wide receiver is supposed to do in this league. I mean, that's the 6-drop pass now, and if you say, what do the Redskins got to do so that Spurrier is successful and his team's successful, they've got to upgrade the wide receiver position. And not just because they're dropping passes today. They need more speed at that position, and they need better players there.
Ramsey, here comes that screen again. Well played by Kevin Hardy.
Yeah, they've got that play scouted out well.
To the well too many times is what's that called.
That's it. And it's an easy play to defend if you want to run and if you want to hustle. Because while that ball's in the air, the defense should be pursuing to the ball, and you should get there about the same time, just the way Hardy did.
Craig Jarrett back to punt. Hang time is going to be pretty good. This one he hit solidly to Galloway. And Galloway's got some speed. He gets a little nudge block, and Galloway sets sail. Good return out to the 30. Antonio Pierce knocked him out of bounds finally.
Stay with that Eagles-Giants game.
That's as good a game as I've seen in a long time.
I tell you, man, that was Tiki Barber off the hook. I mean, all the drama, overtime.
Here's Emmitt Smith bouncing for yards. LeVar Arrington and Kevin Mitchell brought him down, but Emmitt's best run of the day.
You know, and if you look at these two teams, the Redskins and the Cowboys, the other two teams in the NFC East, they're both looking up at both the Giants and the Eagles. And if I was these two teams, I would look to see how the Giants have improved this year and how Fossil has taken over the play calling, simplified things, gone to his playmakers. I mean, they have adjusted during the season, didn't allow injuries to make an excuse, losses to Houston and Tennessee. They just kept persevering on and playing their best football this time of the year.
Emmitt again. Don't you think those other teams in the NFC East, the two that played yesterday, the Giants and the Eagles, and this Redskin team, are closely watching what happens with the coaching situation in Dallas?
Oh, I think so. Because the guy rumored going to Dallas pretty quickly here when this thing all unfolds tomorrow is a guy that's very familiar with the NFC East.
Yes, he
is. And knows things in New York quite well and knows this division very well. And I think one of the reasons why he wants to come here is because he knows this division.
If he does.
If he does.
And again, that's, as you said, a rumor. Here's Emmitt. And Emmitt gets a first down.
Careful.
And Dave Campo said something I liked last night. He said, if Emmitt gets close to getting that 1,000 yards for 12 consecutive years, are you going to make sure he gets there?
Yeah.
And he said, we're going to do our best.
But he's, I mean, that was kind of a distraction for this organization this year, was Emmitt getting the record and putting such a premium on it. And Emmitt said it was going to happen what's going to happen. If he gets his 1,000 yards, that's nice. But he really wants to win, and he wants to go out today a winner, and that's what's most important to him.
He needs 19 yards. Hutchinson, the slant pass in the air, it's going to be picked off by the Redskins. And here's by Kevin Mitchell. Straight up in the air, Mitchell came down with it, and Pennington droops his shoulders and walks off.
And the ball sure is bouncing towards the Redskins' way today. It may be 10 wins in a row. The odds are just catching up to him, but that Kevin Mitchell has filled in for Jeremiah Trotter since he got hurt against the Cowboys, and he has been great at middle linebacker for him. Probably playing the position as well as Trotter ever played it this year.
The Redskins got their touchdown, the only touchdown in the game, as a result of a turnover. See what they can do with this one. Kenny Watson is the deep back. Watson cuts it back for 5. Stopped by Pete Hunter.
Here we go, sir. Ball.
But to Dave Campo's credit, when we were talking with him yesterday, he said, hey, nothing has been done yet. I don't know. As far as I know, I'm the coach of the Cowboys. I know I'm the coach tomorrow. After that, I don't know.
Well, that's how you have to approach it, Matt. You can't allow the distractions to get to you. You got to stay in the tunnel. You can't listen to the reports. You can't pay attention to it. Otherwise, it's going to drive you crazy. You won't sleep, and you'll be a walking zombie by the time game comes.
Cowboys blitz. They picked it up. The Redskins did. Ramsey ripped it out to Thompson. And we should get the 2-minute warning coming up. 7-0. Washington leading. They had another almost touchdown challenge and rule for Dallas. Ramsey to Watson. Nudged it ahead for a first down, or it appears.
This is pretty close here, Pat. I mean, it's probably worth a measure. No, it looks like they're going to make it short here. It's going to be 4th down.
It is going to be short.
Yeah.
And they are going to go.
Oh, you got to do this here. I mean, this offensive line produced well over 200 yards last week. They believe in it. Watch how close the offensive line get up on the ball here. They're going to get all the ball up here as much as they can.
Watson's deep. Watson carries.
There you go.
Knocked backwards. After he was knocked backwards, it depends on the mark. He might not have gotten it.
It's going to be a pretty good spot here. He penetrated there pretty good.
Yeah, he did. But then they carried him backwards. Dexter Coakley on the stop, but they did get a first down.
Dave's fighting them.
Less than a minute, 56 seconds left to play in the first half. Timeout Washington as they...
Trey Johnson there. You run right behind him, the big right guard.
Yep.
Jansen, I mean, that's moving some earth there.
Trey Johnson, somebody asked him about why he had his hair like that.
Yeah, Spurrier asked him.
He said, that's football.
Yeah, that's a football thing. He goes, when I get done playing football, I'm going to cut it all off. I don't know how they get the helmet over it, though. It's like it's a real mop.
It must be extra protection or something.
Well, he's got...
I have to say this. This is not football to me.
Well, there's a lot that you have to cram inside that helmet there. There's cheeks and chins in there and hair. And, he's playing on one leg.
More than one chin, you're saying?
There's a couple chins in there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what you get at the end of the year for an offensive lineman. He's probably about 20 pounds too heavy. Don't ask him to run around the field. He won't be able to make it.
Ramsey picked off. That's Roy Williams, and Williams streaking down the sideline. He's got to beat Ramsey, and he'll beat him. Roy Williams ties it up for the Cowboys. The outstanding rookie takes it 85 yards for the Cowboy touchdown.
That's what turned the Thanksgiving Day game around, when Roy Williams intercepted Danny Werfel and scored in Texas Stadium. And the 5th interception and 2nd touchdown for Roy Williams. He's saying, I'm not going to let Jeremy Shockey win that Rookie of the Year award. I'm going to make some noise myself.
He just made some. High score, 7-7. The last time these two teams met in Dallas, the game changed on this interception. And then today by number 31, the Cowboys' #1 draft choice from the University of Oklahoma. He's not supposed to have great speed.
Well, he just ran away from the entire offense of the Redskins and outran Ramsey. He was a good athlete with an angle on him. Yeah, Dexter Coakley took one back earlier in the year. Every time they return a defensive interception for a touchdown, they win.
Billy Cundiff rips it to Rock Cartwright. And Rock is rocked at about the 25. Keith Davis. Dave Campo has never lost to the Redskins.
Yeah, if they could schedule the Redskins 10 times a year, Dave Campo would be getting a contract extension.
Coach of the year.
Yeah.
If you give him Roy Williams to go.
There's that motion there. Stick it to him.
Yeah.
Attaboy. That's a good attaboy right there.
Got that Super Bowl ring on that hand.
Oh, Mike Zimmer, of course, took over for Dave Campo as a defensive coordinator. And the one thing Dave's told us, that he does miss being a coordinator, his guys. You know, I mean, you're a coordinator, you're a secondary coach, you got your group, and you get to work with them and coach them every day. And he misses that interaction with the players. And what a fun job that would be to coach Roy Williams every day.
Well, you wouldn't have to do much coaching.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know, that's how you get those honors. That's how you become head coaches, when you have enough players like Roy Williams.
37 seconds left. Ramsey gets to Watson. Stifled by the Cowboy defense. Clock still running, 7-7. Spurrier's going to just run it out.
Well, you know, Campo's got a pulse right now, and Spurrier's just skipped a few beats, you know, in that whole exchange right there.
Well, first half has been the story of turnovers.
Yep.
7-7. Both touchdowns the result of turnovers. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Cowboys 7, Washington 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with Jay. Well, he may have, before I say that, he met Emmitt Smith before the game. They had not known each other that well, but he met before the game. Let's listen to what they had to say to each other.
I knew what God had called me to do. 15 years ago, God spoke to me in my basement to stay in Washington. Whether they cut me or not, God just gave me 20 years, though. So I told somebody, asked me, I said, I can't put that on Emmitt. This was different for me. I never went, you never heard my name anywhere. But God was working something. You got to know what God is saying if there's something going on. But wherever it is, it's got to be in peace.
He's going to leave me anyway. Don't let him leave.
Bless you. Appreciate it.
Rock Cartwright brings back the second half kickoff.
Yeah, the other thing that, just finishing up with Darrell Green, was, you know, he had so many good things to say the other day, but there's not many players that get a chance to leave on their own terms in this business, Pat. I mean, we've seen so many
healthy.
Leave healthy with a smile on his face under his own terms. It is so rare in any sport to have that done.
Everybody cherishes their acquaintance with Darrell Green. Pitch back to Kenny Watson. They say be patient. You don't have to be that patient. Turn it up the field. 20 seasons for Darrell Green. He has not intercepted a pass today, but 19 consecutive years he has. In addition to those tributes, there's a friend of ours who helps us every time we come here to Washington, Joe Bann. And Joe Bann has given Darrell Green a Tootsie Roll every game for the last 20 years.
And those are the traditions that you don't hear much about.
Yeah, right. Frank Herzog has taken his picture.
He's got Darius Thompson open down the field.
Ramsey. That's a catch. Thompson made the catch, got the feet down in bounds, and the Redskins move it down the field in a hurry.
Well, Ramsey has just recovered from that interception for a touchdown he threw before the first half. And that was a good example of coming back and forgetting about the bad play before halftime, getting out of the pocket, and then throwing a beautiful pass with touch, beating double coverage there.
40-yard gain puts the Redskins down at the Dallas 16. 10 straight times the Cowboys have beaten the Redskins. And somebody moved. This was
False start.
Steve Spurrier. Spurrier was talking about this the other day. He said,
It's still first
every
down.
time we do an automatic, every time we try to change plays, we're the ones who come offside.
Well, he got up and demonstrated to center Larry Moore and said, you know, I mean, he's pulling us off sides. He's jerking the ball and jerking the head, and we should just be, we got to get those little things straightened out.
Here's Ramsey. I believe it's caught by Gardner. Yes, it is. Let's go down to Dave Feldman.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. Just talked to Steve Spurrier. Before the game, he said he didn't want to make too much out of the streak. Out of 10 straight for Dallas. At halftime, a different tune. Turnovers, he said, had to be stopped. Of course, an interception for a touchdown and a fumble that took away a potential touchdown. Pat?
All right, thank you so much. Second down, about 6. Ramsey back to throw. Blitzed.
There's the fumble.
Fumble, turnover, Cowboys have it. That's been the story of this game. The Cowboys taking advantage of the turnovers, and so have the Redskins. Tony Dixon and Mike Myers.
Well, the defense has been their best offense today. I mean, Roy Williams scores a touchdown. Ekubon knocks the ball loose. There's good pressure that time. The guys are flying around and flying to the football here. You see the race is on. Dixon is down there at the bottom of the pile. That's a hustling defense by the Cowboys. It looks like Mike Myers with that ball in his hand.
Myers has taken Leroy Glover's place. Glover was injured. Chad Hutchinson changing the play. The Redskins waving back to their defensive backs, and he's got to hurry. Pitch back to Emmett, and there is nothing there. No chance. Darrell Gardner was back in the backfield before Emmett got the ball.
Well, and you know, the Redskins said, we're going to shut down Emmitt Smith. We're going to sell out defensively. I mean, watch everybody walk up here, but what they call a man-free safety. Sitting in the back just in case anything goes down the field, but everybody is sitting there on Emmitt Smith. And they're going to continue to crowd the line of scrimmage.
Emmett now needs 25 yards to get to 1,000.
Defenses like that, it's going to be tough.
Hutchinson back to throw. Screen pass to Emmitt Smith, and he's dragged down immediately by Darrell Gardner again.
Darrell Gardner is a man-child. He's the guy that should have been in the Pro Bowl this year for his play and the dominant of play. Now, he's got nothing but child play at practice. He's putting snowballs down guys' backs on Friday and laughing and having fun. But this year, at least 60 minutes on Sunday, that guy has lined up and played dominant football. In fact, Bruce Smith said he's the most dominant defensive tackle he's ever played next to.
A guy who's not having fun is the Cowboy quarterback, Chad Hutchinson.
Redskins look confused on defense right now.
Troy Hambrick's the deep track. Hutchinson, ball incomplete. Tried to throw the slant to Whalen. Not there. Broken up by Champ Bailey, and the Cowboys will have to punt.
You can't even analyze the Cowboys' offense, Pat. I mean, their ability to move the ball, convert third down, stay on the field. They've had 4 different series today of 3 and outs. And that's how it's been all year long. I don't know how you can evaluate quarterbacks, wide receivers, if they can't stay on the field long enough to make that evaluation.
A lot of 3 and outs. And hard to analyze indeed. Impossible. This is set up, or was. Slipped on the dirt. 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, 7-7 tie. And it's been our pleasure to be a part of that class act presented by, or to observe Darrell Green.
Darrell still hustling on special teams, cutting off Reggie Swinton, getting knocked down, getting back up. Going to play it all the way out. Said it's his last time doing everything.
On first down, it's Ladell Betts, and he gets about 5. I got a feeling that Mr. Spurrier is going to say from now on, let's just run it.
Well, they've dropped back to throw it the last 2 series, and they've turned it over, and that's why Dallas is in this game. And he said, I haven't been a very good coach this year because I haven't played to our strengths. And right now, they're a better running team than they are a throwing team. They drop passes, protection is broken down, and the quarterback has made some bad throws. I'd put it in the running back's hands. The Cowboys are going to try and take the run away by stacking the line of scrimmage and making them throw.
Got Roy Williams up almost on the line of scrimmage. Gardner couldn't hang on. That's his fault, not Ramsey's.
No. That's those drops are concentration. That's a guy that, the season's over right now, and tomorrow it's all over and all that, and this is right where it needs to be. You work on that little slant route since the days of summer and training camp.
7 drops. Well, that first game we did when the Redskins looked so good against Arizona, they caught everything.
Oh, man.
They made some spectacular catches.
Look at the Cowboys all up on the line of scrimmage right now. Making them throw. They're going to come after and pressure Ramsey here. They're going to get to him.
Around the corner, and he got away from it somehow. And gets the pass out to Gardner, and Gardner steps out of bounds, but that's Ramsey's escapability that got that done.
Well, Houdini couldn't escape better. I don't know how he got out of it. And he knew it was coming, too. There's Darrell Gardner on the outside working on Pete Hunter. What you call just an arrow route, just taking it inside and then coming back to the football.
Gardner has just gone over 1,000 yards receiving. 1,006. First career 1,000-yard season. The Redskins have a first down at the Cowboy 37. Ramsey. Pass is caught by Darius Thompson. Ball's loose. The Cowboys have it. Another turnover. If it weren't for the turnovers, the boys in blue,
this would be a runaway.
Would not even be in the contest.
No, not even close.
Roy Williams recovered the fumble.
Well, really, their best offense today is to allow the Redskins on the field and then just let the boys in blue just hustle.
Yep.
Was he down, though?
5 turnovers by the Redskins. Spurrier can't believe it. Now, you guys have got to hold on to the football. Said in less kind words, I would think.
Yeah, more direct. In 4 letters. 4-letter syllables there.
Redskins showing blitz again. Here's Emmett. And Emmett struggles. Tripped up by Bruce Smith. The turnovers for the Redskins have just killed them.
This one, Liddell Betts going in to score. Ecubon knocks that ball out. Roy Williams with the interception and an 85-yard return for a touchdown. Ramsey getting the ball knocked out.
Blitz again. Reverse. This is to Darnay Scott.
What?
Darnay Scott ducked underneath the contact.
What? How did Darnay Scott go down? I mean, he tripped over some turf here. He's got a lot of field in front of him.
Yes, he does.
And he trips up here.
Watch him lower his head at the end of this run.
Well, it's been so long since he had the ball in his hand, I think he forgot how to do this. What was that move?
Like he was trying to block him.
Like a sniper just got him.
14-yard gain, nevertheless, and a very rare Dallas first down. Emmett Smith to the 30-yard line.
Oh.
And a flag on the play.
Yeah, Tyson Walter there just frustrated by this offensive performance today. Just stayed on that block too long.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 71 of the offense. Half of this is to the goal, and the down counts.
Well,
the down is 2.
Penalty is against Tyson Walter, but if there has been a surprise, a pleasant one, other than Roy Williams, it's been Tyson Walter.
He's going to be their center for the future. He's a good player, and he understands it, and this is actually what they need more of. Here it is right here. You can't tell that to Tyson Walter that the whistle is over, that the play's over. He's just finishing the play.
Long second down yardage. 22, and Hutchinson has time. Intended for Darnay Scott, who thought he was interfered with, and Hutchinson did too.
Let's take a look at Tyson Walter in the last protection right here in the middle. He's got Darrell Gardner on his nose right there. Nice job of picking up Ronaldo Wynn. The Cowboys picking up a line stunt. That's always cause for some cheer and some celebration. Then you sit on him like that. You saw that?
Hasn't happened too many times.
No, I mean, they just did a signature. He just sat on him at the end of the play. Barking out the signals right here. I mean, the guy's got a future here, right?
Third and 22, excuse me. Hutchinson. Ball goes in the end zone. That's a fumble. And that's a touchdown. Bruce Smith. And Lamar Arrington, who scored the touchdown. Bruce Smith made the hit. Hutchinson never saw him coming.
And Bruce Smith just got another step closer to Reggie White's sack record. And he beat his man clean. Here he is right here on the edge, and he's working on Flazell Adams. And that's pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic right there, because they had two men to block him, Troy Hambrick and Flazell Adams, and neither one of them touched him.
Neither one of them touched him.
No. You know, and Lamar Arrington, gets a Christmas gift.
14-7 Redskins. Cortez adds the extra point. So with 7:41 left in the third, Redskins by 7. Turnovers are usually the story. Bruce Smith put the heat on Hutchinson. LeVar Arrington scored his second touchdown of the year. And when you turn it over that many times, you're going to be behind. Here's Woody Dantzler. They fake a reverse and fool nobody. .35 left to play. Washington 14, Dallas 7. Emmitt Smith still searching for yards to try to get to 1,000. Dallas, after the turnover, trails by a touchdown. Here's Hutchinson back to throw. Throws outside to Antonio Bryant. Let's go back to that sack.
Now take a look here at Bruce Smith. I mean, he's going to be double teamed here. It's Troy Hambrick and Flazell Adams. Now, this tackle here has got him. He's got Bruce. That's his man. Put your hands on him and block him. He's looking for help from Troy Hambrick. Now watch him. They look at each other. Now there's no hustle for the ball. I mean, that's the type of effort, and that's the indecision that this offensive line has produced, especially that position this year. And you can't function, as the Cowboys have proved this year. You can't function as an offense with that type of performance.
That type of effort. Here's Emmitt Smith.
Okay, guys.
For a game break, let's again return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Pat and Brian, take a look. Drawing closer, Atlanta with a 42-yard field goal by Jay Feely. That knocks it at 10. And then take a look, Cleveland's Quincy Morgan, nice catch. Then the ball is stripped loose, recovered by Sam Rogers of Atlanta. Atlanta trying its best to get the victory. Locked in a 10-all battle. Back to Pat and Brian.
And JB, Atlanta needs that victory if they're going to be in the playoffs.
It looks like a lot of loose balls out there on the field today.
That tie Atlanta had with Pittsburgh, gives them the edge over New Orleans. Carolina just went ahead of New Orleans 7-6.
New Orleans loses today. Atlanta goes regardless of what happens. Gets that 6th playoff spot.
Yep.
Bruce Smith right now, the crowd chanting for him.
3rd and 3. They're showing blitz, and here they come. And Hutchinson. LeVar Arrington, the first man there, a flag on the play.
Well, I tell you, LeVar Arrington is having some fun in this defense this year. Right? Came in today with 10 sacks. He only had a half last year. He's going to be a guy like Bruce Smith that's going to pile up a lot of sacks over the course of his career.
A penalty. This apparently is going to be against
foul, unnecessary roughness, number 92 of the defense.
Darrell Gardner.
Yards, automatic first down.
15-yard, and that's the Cowboys' 5th first down. That one done by penalty.
LeVar Arrington coming up here, coming up late, over the 2 tight ends there, getting into his stance. And this is, okay, you know, you've got 2 guys out there. There's no blocking of them. That's the second time we've seen a sack with nobody blocking anybody.
Well, they brought the ball back, and now they're going to walk it off again.
All you got to do is go like this.
Now they've got it spotted where they like. Hutchinson, he has to be bewildered.
Well, I mean, they can't function right now at all. I mean, you say, well, what can we do? What do we do well right now? Where do we go to?
He stumbled, or was tripped, just barely gets rid of it. Trying to throw a screen pass back across his body. LeVar Arrington was all over him.
I've never seen this before, Pat. I've seen some bad offensive performances. And the Cowboys have had plenty this year, but I've never seen anything this fast in my life, a jailbreak this quickly. I mean, there's only 4 guys that are coming, and you've got 5 blockers.
Tripped over Garrod. And then
they're going to try one of those trick plays, you know.
Looked at the horde coming.
There's Flazell Adams. It's going to be a trick play right here. Get everybody going one way and then throw back, and Washington's just like, you're not going to block us, we're going to go knock you down.
2nd and 10, and here they come again. And here's Emmitt Smith, and he doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. No place for him to go. Bruce Smith and Darrell Gardner and Carl Powell all converge.
You know the best thing to do right now is, you know that fake punt you do on 3rd down, Pat? You just drop back and you just punt it.
Quick kick. How about a quick kick?
Yeah, I mean, I would quick kick it right here, put my defense on the field. I got a better chance of winning the game with the defense on the field.
Bruce Coslett, the offensive coordinator. Emmitt Smith checks out. He has carried 17 times for 17 yards.
Here's one matchup here. We'll watch Flazell again with Bruce Smith. Bruce comes inside.
And here's Hutchinson.
That's LeVar Arrington basically just mirrored him. I mean, you're not going to run away from him, because that is the fastest linebacker in football. And he's enjoying this.
Hutchinson's got some grass stains all over his jersey. Steve Spurrier had some on his blue jeans the other day. He said he'd been sledding, and he didn't realize he was on the snow, but underneath the snow is grass.
Well, Hutchinson has been doing some sledding today, some tough sledding.
He really has. It's been tough sledding indeed. Champ Bailey will field it. And the champ,
well, that's an athlete,
is gone. Set sail up across midfield, a flag on the play. Tony Dixon slow getting to his feet. They tell me Champ Bailey has a brother who is also a very good player named Boss Bailey.
Personal foul.
Some good genes there.
Number 53, correction, number 83 of the kicking team. Personal foul, number 53 of the receiving team. Those penalties offset at the spot where the ball is dead. First down.
James Whalen. 51-yard punt, 38-yard return. You look at the faces on the Dallas bench, and that'll give you a pretty good indication about the offense's performance. Shaky at best. First down, Redskins, as they give straight ahead to Liddell Betts.
Well,
look at the last sack.
Well, they don't even cover anymore, the Redskins. They're just basically letting the receivers run free here like Antonio Bryant. And if you can protect for just 3 seconds, I mean, that's what you have available. And I don't blame Antonio Bryant for those gestures and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just got, you're a wide receiver, you want the ball in your hands, you're trying to win a football game. That kid has every bit the talent that we saw Jeremy Shockey display yesterday in New York.
That's a pretty fine compliment.
Well, I believe that it's going to play out before it's all over.
Mike Myers deflected it right now. Let's return to James Brown again in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat and Brian, take a look at what Atlanta is doing to try to get itself a victory and into the playoffs. A 49-yard field goal by Jay Feely, and Atlanta takes its first lead of the game, 13-10 in the third. Back to Pat and Brian.
If Jay Feely had kicked the field goal in Game 2 against Chicago,
we wouldn't be in this situation.
That's right. Ramsey, pass caught by McCants, and McCants gets a Redskin first down at the Dallas 31. Mario Edwards made the stop.
Well, the Cowboys are basically forcing the Redskins' hand to throw the ball. They're stacking the line of scrimmage. They're not even gonna worry about, the Redskins running it when they do that. Right now, Patrick Ramsey's checking off to the passes, so you got to make those kind of tight throws. And Ramsey's made enough of them today. He just had a lot of drops.
He looks reasonably poised to be so young.
He's grown up a lot this year, I think.
Yes, he has. He's gone lofting deep. He's got a man open. Incomplete. McCants didn't put his arms out quite far enough. Keith Davis back there with him.
Yeah, he's very...
Pretty good throw.
Yeah, and he's very good at the pump fake here, Patty. This is what you call the double move, where the receiver fakes at the Chevy and he goes down to the Oldsmobile, and you give him a little pump fake here. See, there's a little down out at the Chevy. Now you go... Keith Davis didn't even know the ball was in the air.
Looked like he stretched out for that, did he?
He could have had a little better effort, sure.
2nd and 10.
Gardner likes this situation right here against Pete Hunter, a rookie with nobody behind him.
McCants makes the reception on the slant pattern, about 8 yards.
Talked to Patrick Ramsey, a lot of it was made out of the fact that he was a holdout this year. He held out for 16 days, and I asked him if Coach Spurrier was upset at you for that. He goes, yeah, he was, but he told me in 2 weeks it's all going to be forgotten, it's all over with, and we're going to go on, and I think they have, and he's going to be a fun guy to work out with this offseason. Mini camps and get him ready for next year.
Flag. No gain. Watson. But it's going to be a penalty against Dallas. I believe they jumped.
Offside. 96 defense. 5 yards. Result is a first down.
Ecubon. He has, and the Cowboys have thought for some time, that he has a lot of talent, Ebenezer Ecubon. He was a first-round draft choice.
Yeah. That French word potential.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been hung on a lot of players in this league.
Potential, as far as I'm concerned, means you haven't done it yet.
That's why they use that word.
It's still in the can.
That's all it is. There's that pump fake again.
Yep.
There's the flag.
Flag on the play. Dixon has it. I beg your pardon, this is Roy Williams again.
Trying to do this act again.
And there goes Roy Williams. He just ran out of gas at the 40. But there are flags, 3 of them, back at about the 5-yard line of Dallas.
He just hadn't filled that tank from that last 85-yard interception return. Yeah, it's all going to come back.
Yep.
That pump fake grab those cornerbacks again.
Pass interference. 31 defense.
Roy Williams call. The pump got him. The pump got him after he ran out of gas. How's that fit together?
Mario Edwards, that's the penalty right there. And we've been watching the offensive tackles of the Cowboys today.
Yeah.
The other weakness is the cornerbacks of the defense. I mean, those two positions have to be upgraded before the Cowboys can ever come out in preseason next year, whoever's the coach, whatever happens, and say, we're a playoff team, we're all this, all that stuff that they talked about this year. Unless they improve those two positions on this team, you're going to have long days.
Looks like Derek Ross can play a little bit.
Yeah, and he's not out there today, but he's shown enough this season that maybe you have one.
The pitch is back to Betts. Out of bounds. Inside the 10. Stops the clock with 3:37 left in the third quarter.
That's Derek Ross right there. You know, if you don't have the helmet on every Sunday, you know, it's not on, then that other thing just it just starts blooming.
He came from Dallas with his head out the window.
That's the kind of hair that gets on fire. You know, you get close to a flame.
Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator. Ramsey gives to Liddell Betts. Betts fights for yards, gets inside the 5. The front four of Dallas collaborate to bring him down. 14-7 Redskins lead. Less than a minute left in the third.
Well, those are Spurrier's kind of numbers. You know, you got 37 passes, you have 15 runs, but a lot of turnovers, a lot of bad things happening with the pass today. Right here in this third and short, you're in 2-down territory. I don't know that you have to put this ball in the air.
No, I don't think so. I think he will.
Now they kind of shift.
Well, maybe not. Ramsey moves up under center. Yes, he does.
Ooh.
McCants never turned around. Spurrier did turn around.
Yeah. He lost the visor. He's livid. Yeah, that's not what he's been practicing since July. I mean, it's just not it. You know, and he'll say, I'm a bad coach and all that, but that's not what they work on every day. Those kind of breakdowns there.
I'll say one thing. A lot of times you see a coach go through what he's gone through, and they look like they've aged a bit. He doesn't appear to have.
I don't think that's ever going to happen to Steve.
17-7. I think I agree with you. He's one of those eternally youthful-looking guys. But the ominous thing that seems to be developing, except if you live in Green Bay, is that the road to the Super Bowl goes through Green Bay, through Lambeau.
Well, you know, the Jets have something to say about that today.
Right.
On a bad Meadowlands field later this afternoon, the Jets and Chad Pennington and Herman Edwards have a lot to say about that.
Woody Dantzler.
Whoop.
Like everything else, it's going backwards, and he might have left the ball on the ground.
Nobody's blowing a whistle.
The Redskins out of it. Nobody's blowing the whistle. Touchdown, Redskins. It all happened sort of hidden. Brian Johnson. And now here comes the flag on the play, and let's see what happened. Here's Dantzler.
Yeah, Dantzler trying to make a play.
Yep.
Oh, that ball's out, huh?
Yeah,
That's a fumble.
Out. That's a fumble.
Oh, yeah. I mean, then again, the refs got this right. Now the ball's kicked around. Nobody sees it. Look, Brian Johnson, he's the one. He's the only one in that pile there that says, hey, wait a second. Nobody has that ball. Let me take it.
Somebody tried to pick him up, but it was a teammate.
Yeah, the whistle never blew. And
well, Redskins have committed 5.
While the ball was laying loose as a fumble, Washington players came on the field. Too many men on the field for Washington. Prior to the change of possession. 5-yard penalty, first down Dallas.
Whoa.
Washington players came on the field. That's one Steve hadn't figured on.
But here's the thing about that play, Pat. The ball is loose. It's a free ball. Nobody has possession of the football. Now, that is too many men on the field. That is a violation, but how does Dallas get the ball back in that situation? Somebody has to have possession of the ball. Nobody had possession.
The last guy who had possession
was Woody Dantzler.
If that's what they're saying. Spurrier's changed complexions.
Yeah.
He's not being unctuous about this. He's yelling.
Well, whatever unctuous is, Pat, but now the ball's out. Okay, no, somebody has to have possession of the ball. I've never seen that before, Pat.
I haven't either. Too many men on the field, I can understand. Dallas quickly to get a play, and Antonio Bryant comes down with it. And now he is going to be called. Antonio Bryant is going to be called. Flags come flying.
Jeez.
Looks like this could be, this ruling could be the last thing that happens in this quarter.
Taunting, 88 of the offense, 15 yards. Still be a first down.
It was a 25-yard gain. They still get the first down. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score Washington 17, Dallas 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station.
A heavy penalty for a team that just recovered a loose ball and scored.
I'll say. Here's Hutchinson. Deep for Bryant. Got it.
He's going to get the taunting again. Just get back to the huddle. The guys are telling him, get back to the huddle.
Be quiet and play.
Yeah. I know it's a shock that a wide receiver caught a pass, and maybe that's cause for celebration, but
act like you've caught it before.
Yeah, and go back and do it again. That's the talent this kid has, and how if you can hold up just a little bit on the offensive line, this kid can have this kind of a day every Sunday in this league.
43 yards on that completion from Hutchinson. Whalen goes in motion. Emmitt Smith gets the carry. And Emmitt gets about 4. And a flag on the play. Kevin Mitchell made the stop.
We have Andre Garrod here with the hold.
Holding, 65 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
65 is Andre Garrod.
And some rough sledding for Andre Garrod this season.
One of the coaches said early on he looked like the real item, and now he's hit a wall. Often happens to a rookie.
Yeah, and it just took Jesse Armstead down there. And the reason why Emmitt was able to gain a few yards in that carry.
1st and 20. Hutchinson. No chance. Carl Powell was in on top of him before he could even look at the laces in his hand.
Yeah, and this is just total and complete breakdown up front right now.
This was the first time that the Cowboys had been in Washington territory all day.
Yeah, well, Flozell Adams thought that he was just going to pass Carl Powell off to the guard that time, Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker wasn't expecting it, and that was a lousy push. And Flozell Adams does not know how to play the game of football right now. He doesn't understand the effort that you have to play with.
Hutchinson. Ball's knocked loose. Bryant had it. Washington ball. The Redskins get another turnover. Recovered by Jesse Armstead. Unbelievable. Just knock it loose. Somebody will get it. Back at FedEx Field in Washington, Antonio Bryant just caught a pass and then fumbled it, and the Redskins take over. Look at this. More turnovers than touchdowns.
In yards.
Yeah. Ramsey gives to Watson. Redskins lead by 10. They've lost 10 in a row to the Cowboys.
Well, they had a 10-point lead against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving and lost that lead. Cowboys came back. Roy Williams got a touchdown. You know, they came back and Emmitt got running. The Redskins made a change this week, Pat. They elevated Hugh Jackson, the running back coach, to the offensive coordinator. Not that he's going to call the plays. Spurrier is still going to do that, but it's going to allow Steve Spurrier to free up to work with the defense and special teams and be more involved.
Watson gets to about the 35, 36. They have 3rd and about 4. 3 make it.
Yeah, you look
and they
at
mark it further down. It's about 3rd and about a yard and a half.
That you look at this game and all the miscues today and the sloppy play, and you compare that to the two other NFC East teams yesterday that played, the Eagles and the Giants, and you look at the level of that play and you know, just how fierce the competition was, and outside of Tiki Barber's fumbles, that was great football. Yeah. You look at these two teams right now, and they're both a long ways away from that level.
Tiki Barber's effort was spectacular. Play got off too fast. It's going to be against the Redskins. Same old dance.
Prior to the ball being snapped, Washington called timeout.
Washington called timeout. No wonder he broke so free. Well, I thought the lady was going to say Happy New Year or something like that.
Well, we'll give her a Happy New Year, Pat. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good Christmas.
Good Christmas, good holiday season.
Yeah. And now,
ball start.
The same old dance on the sideline.
It's still third down.
Illegal procedure against the Redskins. Steve can't believe it.
Yeah.
John Jansen.
I think both teams. I mean, Steve even said, I think both teams, you know, they need a complete injection of discipline.
And Dan Snyder, the owner of the Redskins. Bernard Shaw in conversation. 3rd and 8. Pass is caught by McCants, and that'll move the sticks. A 13-yard pickup, completion from Ramsey to McCants, and he's handling that shoulder a little tenderly. There's Trey Johnson. All of a sudden, you couldn't see McCants.
That's a good shot that time from Dixon, but you know, you look, I was talking about discipline here. Patty, you look at the breakdown of it, and the Cowboys, they have to rip the whole thing apart. I mean, it's just, they have to start from square one. All the connections to the Super Bowls that they've had is just a false arrogance about it. And here it is.
Betts crosses the 30 to about the 26. Roy Williams made the stop. 11:15 left. The Redskins on the move.
I believe that the Cowboys are still living off their 3 Super Bowl championships in the 90s, and all these coaches are kind of connected to that with Campo and Mike Zimmer. They all are involved with a lot of those. And I think that they have to start from square one.
Well, you can't live on that much longer.
Well, they can't. I mean, it's evident. And for a long time, I think Jerry thought that he could. He could just keep adding pieces and subtracting pieces, and they could just fix it and patchwork it together. But this team lacks discipline because they break down in different areas every week. It's just not the offensive line.
Betts again.
The one thing that the coach that's rumored to come in here, Pat, will do is there will be an uncomfortableness every day. There will be an uneasiness, including Jerry Jones. There will be an uneasiness that he works with that you can't get comfortable for a day that you come into that locker room. You got to be on eggshells, and and that's the way he's going to operate.
Well, the name of the business is not comfort. No. The name is winning.
Yeah, and that's how he gets it, because he's going to get the performance out of those guys every day, because there's never going to be a comfort zone about it.
Whoever is the coach has to take that approach. Roy Williams up to make the tackle. And the guy that Brian was talking about, of course, is Bill Parcells. He is the rumored leader in the ranch house. And you can see what he's done to the programs he's been associated with.
You know, Parcells has always had a couple of things. One, he's always had a physical defense with big linebackers, and he always had a ball carrier. He always had a guy that he could feed. He went out and got O.J. Anderson, and they won that second Super Bowl with the Giants with him. And he had Joe Morris and Rodney Hampton, and and he brought in Curtis Martin from New England to the Jets with him. He believed in the fundamentals of the game, running the ball, stopping the run. That's where it all started for him. And there's a toughness about both those qualities that all his teams always had. And I'll say this, guys like Emmett, tough guys that like to work, will like Bill Parcells.
You know, when you think about that philosophy, that was built around playing in the NFC East. And the Cowboys
exactly
are in the NFC East. And the weather got bad in Philadelphia, New York, Washington on occasion. And you had to have those elements. You had to have those parts of your team.
Yeah, that pretty passing game didn't work in December and January in this corridor.
Cortez hits from 38 yards, and the Redskins move ahead 20-7. The Redskins have never beaten Dave Campo. Could this be the day? Redskins kickoff sails down to Woody Dantzler. Dantzler about to the 38. New Year's Day, join us for one of college football's most storied games with the 67 SBC Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox. Chris Sims will lead Texas for the final time as the 9th ranked Longhorns take on the LSU Tigers. In the first meeting between these two schools in 40 years. That's hard to believe. The 67th SBC Cotton Bowl Classic is on New Year's Day, 11 o'clock in the morning, only on Fox. Brian Baldinger will be there.
Well, last time they met was in the Cotton Bowl 40 years ago.
From behind, Darrell Gardner takes down Emmitt Smith. What a frustrating day it's been for Emmitt in quest of that 1,000-yard season. He just lost a yard, so he needs about 18, I think, now.
He said that he has such a hard time controlling his emotions when he feels frustrated like this, but that's the professionalism of Emmitt Smith, that he doesn't whine, he doesn't cry, he walks back to the huddle. He can't do anything about the lack of discipline up front and how they can't put blocking assignments together. He can't do anything about that.
He needs 25 yards now. Emmitt does. Timeout, Dallas.
And he's been phenomenal against the Redskins. I mean, his last two best games that he's had in the last 2 years now, both against the Redskins. 144 on Thanksgiving, 150 yards in 2000.
But today has been one of the worst days ever in that storied career. Here's Hutchinson. Outside to Hambrick. Champ Bailey shoved him out. Cleveland just took the lead over Atlanta 17-16.
Atlanta's still alive, even if they would lose, if Carolina can hold on like they are against New Orleans right now. And what a collapse that would be by the New Orleans Saints.
Isn't that the truth?
I mean, they've lost 2 in a row, maybe 3 in a row. They lost 4 in a row at the end of the year last year.
They started off like a juggernaut. Here's Bryant. Took his eyes off the ball, looked downfield, and just dropped it. That ball was right there. And here comes the punting team.
Well, that's the way it's been. I mean, when they get time and they actually protect and they throw a great throw. It's an example of a guy, he's trying to do too much with the ball. He's looking down the field. He knows it. But he also has to learn to play under control. I mean, that's the next step for him next year, is to learn control.
With the temperament as is, he's a long way from being the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning his name with it, but he has that type of talent.
Yep, he does. Bouncing ball down to the Redskin 10, and that's where they got it. 47-yard punt, a flag on the play. 20-7, Washington over the Cowboys. Several flags on the play, to be exact.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 52 of the receiving team. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
NFL action continues next on Fox. Watson, I believe, the ball carrier. It was Betts. That's the Washington Redskin radio crew. Sonny Jurgensen to your left, to your right. Sam Huff on the other side. 2 Hall of Famers. And Frank Herzog in the middle, who has quite a tradition going, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure loves to take a picture before every game with Darrell Green and somebody else.
Unofficial Darrell Green photographer. Unofficial guest. And today, well, we'll show you who it was. Smothered is Betts. These are some of the pictures he's taken this year. There's Frank.
Stay back,
and
stay
today,
back.
this one. That will be the last one of Darrell Green in that uniform, and appropriately with Emmitt Smith, the all-time rushing leader in the NFL. 3rd and 6.
And anytime you get a change, coaches, you never know who's going to be safe and who isn't. It might be Emmitt's final day.
Liddell Betts makes the carry, and the Redskins will have to punt. Spurrier was talking about his kickers. When we met with him on Friday, he said, I had from this guy 2 10-yard punts and a block. And from the other guy, he didn't even know his name, he fell down on the field goal attempt.
Yeah, Jose Cortez. Yeah, they have to upgrade the whole special teams.
Get away from it. That's Galloway back. The Redskins down it at about the 41. Green Bay and the Jets in game 2.
Pat, you asked me today before the game who I thought the MVP of the league was, and I thought Rich Gannon in Oakland, and you said, I think it's Brett Favre. And you know, you're probably right, Pat. And on a national stage in New York later tonight, you know, Green Bay's had all kinds of changes. Receivers all changed. Defensive line decimated. They still have Brett Favre there. You know, and you can always count on that guy every Sunday. And neither one of these teams have a Brett Favre.
Right. Well, who does?
Well, nobody does. But, I mean, until you get that position solidified, you know, and the Cowboys haven't since Troy Aikman was in his prime here, you can't think about building a winning football organization.
There's a flag on the play.
Illegal touching. Receiver going out of bounds and coming back in and being the first to touch the ball. 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
Went out of bounds and came back in. And you can't be
the first one to touch it.
Right.
Ball can tip somebody else, come off somebody else's pads, and then you can catch it.
Well, I don't know. As we've been speculating, and there are a lot of other people speculating as well, I don't know who the new coach is going to be, but there are going to be some wholesale changes. Hutchinson. That's Jason McKee who made the reception. The new fullback who is just getting a trial run today, I guess you'd have to say.
Yeah, Jason McKee out of Temple. And Tyson Walter getting to know Bruce Smith.
Emmitt Smith out of the game. And I imagine out for the rest of the day unless unforeseen injuries happen.
Bruce Smith has got football left in him. And, you know, I mean,
and there comes Darrell Green. Second down and about 8 or 9. Hutchinson. That's Antonio Bryant.
I thought that he was so far out of bounds. Somehow that was pretty close there.
James Whalen was up giving all kind of signals saying he was inbound. But he wasn't.
Find the dead spot in that zone there. Nice job. He got pushed out. That's a force out right there. I mean, his feet would have been in bounds if the defender didn't hit him.
That's exactly right.
That should have been a catch.
That's what James Whalen said.
That's your classic force out.
Hutchinson, blitz coming. Got no chance. Andre Lott.
Darrell Green doesn't want any part of this rookie here. I mean, he just gets right in his face. Eyes looking at him, mirroring him over the field. Changed direction pretty good that time, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
42.
6 sacks by the Redskins. And the Cowboys, no need to punt.
No. We gave up on that idea of a quick kick earlier.
Yep. Timeout called by Dallas. That's their second timeout. But how do you know if he, in a situation like this, he's getting killed every down? How do you know if he can throw the ball or not?
You don't. I mean, I don't know how much you've learned about him, except that he's unbelievably tough.
Yep.
And he's got a good arm. But, you know, can he always get it there? Can he make the right reads and decisions? The Hail Mary, he's got him, too.
Throw it deep.
He's got him.
Got it. Touchdown. Antonio Bryant. Now, don't do that.
That is just, that's embarrassing. I mean, you know,
calm down.
It's just embarrassing, the behavior. I mean, you know, that Trent Hutchinson just had time there, Pat. He just had time. He stepped in the pocket and he threw a beautiful deep ball for a touchdown. After he's been whacked all day. I mean, it tells me something about that kid. That he's mentally tough, not just physically. Body could take the pounding, but mentally, to be able to stay in the game and still compete and throw the ball like this, that's a good sign.
Billy Cundiff's extra point is good. And it's 20-14, Redskins. And look what protection can do.
Well, the Redskins were playing coverage. They grabbed Bruce Smith. They only rushed 3. This is atrocious defense by the Redskins. I mean, out there in the corner, Fred Smoot, there's nothing that would bring you up in that situation. Nothing. There's no underneath receiver. There's nobody coming out of the backfield. There's nothing that should bring him up and allow Antonio Bryant to run behind him.
Now, that's a pretty good throw from Hutchinson. And that's the first time that I can remember he's had a chance to step up into the pocket.
It helps when they only rush 3.
There was a pocket.
It was a real pocket, right. Best day ever for Antonio Bryant, and also probably his worst day in all of his behavior after his plays.
I don't know. He's had some other days that would hang right up there with it.
Yeah, there's nothing. Nobody's going to criticize any player for exuberance and excitement.
He's just got to learn to put a hinge on his emotions.
A hinge would corral it a little bit. The Cowboys can kick this ball off. And this game is a 6-point game here. Cowboys have a 10-game winning streak over here against the Redskins. Redskins trying to break that string. A lot of things being yet to decide here in this rivalry. Actually, Darrell Green said this isn't a rivalry. When you lose 10 in a row, it's not a rivalry.
The rivalry has disappeared.
He said the rivalry has to start today with the Redskin win.
Onside kick, no too much time left.
Kick it away.
Champ Bailey retreats, and here he comes with the return. And out of bounds at about the 24. First game ever for Darrell Green. I remember and you remember.
I was there. And, you know, and it was Tony Dorsett, you know, and coming off a Pro Bowl, first game of the '83 season. And nobody ever heard of a young kid out of Texas A&I. You know, Darrell Green chased him down. And I remember Howard Cosell was doing the game, Dandy Don up there. And everybody saw it. Everybody saw the speed, the flash. And Darrell Green has been on the scene and in the forefront since that day. I'll never forget that because the whole sideline was buzzing and talking about who's number 28.
Who is that guy?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Nobody runs down Dorsett.
No. Dorsett ran all the way to the Hall of Fame. You know, nobody ran him down.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage is Kenny Watson. And the Cowboys call a timeout. That's all of them. wonder what the future holds. I mean, after talking to him last night, you know that Emmitt Smith has a great burning desire to play more. You know he's not ready to quit the game. He said he's going to start with his regimen off season, which means he shows up at the workout room at Cowboy headquarters at 5:30 in the morning. In February he starts.
It takes 6 weeks off, and all players have a game face. You know, and Emmitt's game face is on. It hasn't taken a mask off yet. Hasn't started thinking about post-football. He wants to exhaust the game of football in his system the way Darrell Green has been able to here in Washington. And if it's not going to be in Dallas, he wants to go find another place.
I think it should be in Dallas.
I believe he's the Cowboy. I never thought Jerry Rice looked the same in a Raider uniform. Or Bruce Smith, I don't think ever was the same here, you know, coming to Washington.
Well, Dorsett has said, we were talking about Tony a minute ago, he has said he regretted going to Denver.
To Denver.
Yeah.
You know, and he never played it down in Denver, got hurt. But there's just something about Emmitt in that 22.
Yeah.
You know, in that 1,000-watt smile of his in the competition. And I think that he said that whoever comes in here, when's the coaching change, that I'm not going to go knocking down his door to go meet him. I mean, he knows where I'm at. There's a respect factor there, he thinks.
Yep.
That whoever comes in here.
It should be.
That should be like that.
Close to first down yardage. And they'll be able to keep the clock running down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left. Themselves.
Yep.
So that's pretty much the way it stands. Dave Campo said, I repeat, it's not done yet.
Well, he's taking the headset off.
Yep.
Because Washington right now can take a knee and run this out.
And Ramsey backs out. And could this be the last for Emmitt Smith in a Cowboy uniform? He is, I think I see a half smile. Here's what he's accomplished. And not just against the Redskins. He was a joy to watch.
Yeah, and a professional all the while, and came in as just a young kid out of Florida. And boy, he grew up here. I mean, you even mentioned Pat coming to the stadium today, just what he's been like, handling himself in interviews and speech. I mean, just grew up and became a man here.
Well, the first meeting he came to, as you look at Bruce Smith, there's Emmitt. First meeting that I ever had with Emmitt, he hardly spoke, just his name. In fact, he brought Michael Irvin with him, and Michael did all the talking.
He was able to do that.
And yesterday, when we talked with him last night, he was very analytical about things, very thorough and very articulate. He has indeed grown up. The Redskins let the clock run, and they have broken that streak of 10 in a row by Dallas. And a fitting day and a fitting way for Darrell Green's career to come to an end. And Dave Campo coming over to say congratulations to Steve Spurrier. Today's game was produced by Mike Frank, produced by Pete Macheska, I beg your pardon, and directed by Michael Frank. Associate Director Derek Manning, Broadcasting Associates Judy Hong, the technical producer Dan Rotante, studios produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy.
Go.
Let's go quickly now down to Darrell Feldman.
Darrell Green, talk it, Darrell. Darrell Green live. Talk about what this meant.
This meant everything to me. We haven't beat these guys in a long time, and so I told the guys, I said, man, there's only one way I can go out, and that's winning. And so I'm very proud of the team.
You said you were going to enjoy every moment. Did you pregame, postgame, everything?
Absolutely. I want to thank Mr. Snyder and all the organization the fans that gave me a great day. I couldn't have asked for anything greater.
Thanks, Darrell. Congratulations. Pat?
Well, we couldn't have asked for anything greater than to have an opportunity to witness this finale to what has been a wonderful career.
It has been, Pat. It's been a pleasure working with you this year. We got a chance to see Emmett break that historical record in Dallas this year. It's been quite a season.
It has been a joy, may I say, to work with you. This is Pat Summerall for Brian Baldinger saying so long from FedEx Field, where the final score is Washington 20, Dallas 14. Be sure to stay tuned to Fox Sports for the second game of our doubleheader right after these messages. For more on today's game and the latest NFL news, log on to foxsports.com, the official sports site of the internet.